Flips it off to Tim Leibold, chips it across, no one there, beautiful ball. Jake Davis now running forward to try and salvage it, but instead a heavy touch puts that one out past the inline, and it'll be a goal kick for Toluca. But Tim Leibold, Jacob, almost never misses on his delivery.
And this was excellent build-up, too, to get into this spot on Felipe Gutierrez and Eric Tommy. Right there, Leibold tries to go with that little chip. To me, he's got to hit that one hard on the ground, either pick out Kyrie Shelton, who made a great near-post run, or the penalty spot. Also, instead of that little chip, of course, it's very easy for us to see it up here. But Leibold has been a bright spot getting forward, and one of Sporting's most dangerous attacking players, even from that left back spot.
Well, a yellow card has been shown to Felipe Gutierrez, who will enter the books for a foul on Jean Meneses. So 20 minutes in, Sporting Kansas City have a player that is playing on a yellow, something to be aware of and careful of. But Felipe Gutierrez is not a player that's gone full 90 really for Sporting. So as long as he can get through the rest of this half unscathed. Scotty Kinda wins it in the midfield, and looked like Toluca thought they'd be getting a foul call. They did not. He now finds Kyrie Shelton in space. Shelton cuts it back. Now to Tommy. Back to Shelton. Out wide to Davis. Davis across, and that one finds Johnny Russell, headed into Gotti Kinda. Gotti Kinda goes to ground. Referee says nothing there either. Tim Leibold picking it back up for SKC. And Johnny Russell now playing it all the way back to Andreu Fontas. The Sporting have Toluca all inside their half. Rosero looking out wide with a long ball over the top to Leibold. Back to Tommy. Tommy playing as that false nine, dropping into the midfield, combining Fontas, trying to play it into Johnny Russell, who's pushed up against the Toluca back line, and Gutierrez called for a foul again, not too long after being issued a yellow card.
Look back at this. Another potential penalty shout, though again, I don't think there's enough there. Foul on Felipe Gutierrez. To me, that's a definite foul. That was better. It's a better stretch of possession from Sporting. And when Sporting get on the ball and move it side to side, there are tons of openings right now playing against this Toluca team where you just have to be a little bit sharper, crisper in that final third, get off a better opportunity. But the space is there right now for Sporting.
Well, Toluca through 22 minutes hasn't looked like that very dangerous attacking team we saw them be in the group stage of this Leagues Cup tournament. Not to set anyone up with the commentator's curse for Sporting Kansas City here, but we've got a bit of a scuffle going on the far side of the field. Kyrie Shelton involved in a bit of a mix-up. Danny Rosero now coming over, getting involved as well, as we'll try to get another look. Rosero calling for a card on one of the Toluca players. As we wait and get another look at what happened, but Kyrie Shelton, the Sporting player involved in the play, as he was being held up quite a bit and then tried to get out of it, and almost, that was kind of awkward, Jacob. I don't really even know how to explain what happened, but the Toluca player flipped over the back of Kyrie Shelton, who was just trying to get him off of him.
That's what I like to see, though, for Kyrie Shelton. And far too often, Kyrie Shelton doesn't use that strong, big body of his right there. He was strong, held the guy off, and then even as the Toluca player was trying to jump on his back, he was still able to shrug him off and stay on his feet. I love that from Kyrie.
Well, that got Sporting Kansas City the ball back. Gotti Kinda, being elusive as he is in the midfield, he plays it over the top, looking for Shelton. That one defended well by Toluca's back line, and Valber Huerta. Sporting still bringing some of that pressure. Volpe clearing it upfield, headed back in by Fontas. Now Danny Rosero winning a header inside the center circle. Polskamp playing out of pressure, finds Fontas.
Great ball.
Plays it up the middle inside to Gadi Kinda. Kinda finds Eric Tommy. Tommy at half field, slips it out wide to Johnny Russell, who tries to play it back in one time to Tommy. He gets dispossessed, but Gadi Kinda able to get it back. He tries to play an ambitious ball through to Jake Davis that is cut out by Toluca's defense. Both teams with a couple turnovers here in the last couple of possessions. Toluca now getting out on the counter. Here they come. Pedro Raul one-on-one with John Polskamp, and Polskamp comes up big to save Sporting Kansas City and keep Toluca out of the back of the net. What a save by Polskamp.
Massive save from John Polskamp. Pedro Raul gets 1v1, got plenty of time. John Polskamp makes himself big. It's a kick save to just turn that one wide. It was one of those, you said it, neither team really had possession right there. Toluca won it and immediately played it forward. Felipe Gutierrez was caught kind of snoozing, ball watching, and he didn't have the pace to recover.
Well, Pedro Raul showed us just how dangerous and quick he can be getting out on the counter, something Sporting will have to be aware of going forward. But now Toluca have a corner from the near side. Juan Dominguez plays it short. Now to the top of the box, a strike one time into the feet of Andreu Fontas. Clears it away, and now Sporting pushing their line forward. Toluca now with the ball inside their half, passing it around the back line. Shelton bringing some pressure, but the ball cleared forward. And now here come Toluca again. Araujo playing it out wide. Ball played inside, poor touch. One back by Danny Rosero. But Toluca have been good these last couple of minutes of just recovering some of those turnovers or taking advantage of a misplayed ball or poor touch by Sporting Kansas City. So we're in the 27th minute. This is the same time in which Sporting got the 1-0 lead over Chivas on Monday through Johnny Russell, who had the game winner in the 27th minute, assisted by Eric Tommy. But this game now still scoreless between both sides. Toluca leading Sporting right now in shots with 4. Sporting with just 1 shot so far through 27 minutes. Does that surprise you at all, Jacob?
Yes, and it's not good enough, to be quite honest. It's not. The possession now is evened out where it's about 50-50. It's just not enough in the final third as Danny Rosero gives the ball away.
And here come Toluca again. Dangerous situation. Ball played across, and Andreu Fontas to the rescue, but ball still in play. Raul brings it down, gets a shot off. John Polskamp again denied. And this will be another corner for Toluca, but John Polskamp has been the man of the match, or at least through these last 10 minutes for Sporting Kansas City. Toluca just not giving up on the play. And Raul, the player, again, finding himself in front of net, just can't get it past Polskamp.
Again, though, we talked about how there were no mistakes last game against Chivas. Right there, Danny Rosero, simple play out of the back. Just swings and misses. Allows Toluca to get that chance.
Polskamp chance ringing out as Toluca getting a corner. The shot from the top of the 18, blocked by Sporting, and now Eric Tommy trying to run onto it as he's taken down. The referee says no foul. Tommy and the fans, as you can hear the boos ringing out, shocked by that decision. As are the rest of Tommy's teammates. But here comes Toluca again, some quick 1-2 passes and touches. Driving upfield, Araujo inside the 18, cuts past Leibel, gets it across. Danny Rosero trying to head it away. Instead, finds the back of the net, and that is going to be an own goal. Sporting Kansas City down 1-0 in the 29th minute. Toluca get out to the lead.
Sporting players are still complaining about that non-call on Eric Tommy. Really, Danny Rosero, he had to go for that one. Otherwise, there was an unmarked Chivas for a Toluca player at the back post. But it's just way too easy, right through the middle of the field. Here, Araujo with a good play. A great ball in. It's that teasing one where Rosero has to make an attempt on it. Otherwise, Raul's at the back post for a simple tap in. But really, it's too easy going right through the heart of that midfield for Sporting Kansas City. Remy Voltaire was left all on his own, trying to mark three guys. I'm not sure if VAR can take a look at that possible call on Eric Tommy or not.
We have seen a scenario in regular season play where a goal for Sporting was called back even after it kind of cycled through a couple of different players and was called back because of a foul that Kyrie Shelton was found to have committed against Aaron Long when they played LAFC. And that was, a play that didn't seem necessarily all that connected, but perhaps similar situation there, Jacob, or no?
I just think overall for Sporting, it's in this game, big picture stuff. Started it off well, had possession, had some chances. The last 10 minutes, especially the last 5 minutes, Toluca have just completely bossed this game with the ball. And Sporting have tried to press, but they've been late. And then when one guy's late, then the next guy's late. And that's what can cause that huge gap right through the center of midfield. And we've seen it a couple times for Toluca. I think we need more defensive work here from Felipe Gutierrez and from Gadi Kinda. Otherwise, Remy Voltaire's just chasing three guys in that center midfield.
Well, Sporting Kansas City, unfortunate to concede the goal. It's the first own goal that Sporting have conceded all year in all competitions. And now here comes Toluca again, trying to make it two. Ball slipped inside, now a cross, wide open. Pedro Raul makes it two for Toluca. And just like that, the Liga Meki side have gotten out to a comfortable lead here, at least with how this game's been going, Jacob. It seems to have completely shifted. The momentum has in favor of Toluca. Sporting Kansas City need to figure something out.
This was just a terrible sequence. I'm not sure if he was offside or not. It's very close. But essentially, this is exactly how the own goal was scored. Toluca player finds himself on that right side, cuts the ball across here. There's no Danny Rosero to turn it into his net. So it's a simple tap and finish at the back post for Raul. But it was very poor defensively for Sporting there. Just looking like almost cones and no pressure to the ball. Just a very poor response after giving up that goal. And now it is going to be difficult to get back into this one. Sporting need a goal before halftime if they want any chance. Because right now, Toluca are by far the better team.
And they've got all the momentum, all the pressure, just immediately bringing 1, 2, 3 players to any Sporting player that's even close to sniffing the ball. Gadi Kinda just dispossessed in the midfield. That was Toluca's 10th goal this tournament. Raul with the most recent. Now here comes Sporting. Danny Rosero playing it out wide to Jake Davis, who slips it up to Kyrie Shelton, who gets called for a foul. And Shelton trying to help him up, but player still on the ground for Toluca. Looks like that might be Araujo.
Kyrie Shelton just trying to chase this ball back. To me, yeah, that's a foul. But I'm not sure then what he's grabbing his leg for. Maybe Kyrie Shelton accidentally steps on it. No. This guy is looking at this is the part of the game that's absolutely embarrassing. And look, oh, now he's fine, right? There are certain aspects of soccer, and this is one of them that it's just shameful. You're not hurt. Don't cry and roll around on the ground and grab your leg trying to get a yellow card on the opponent who did absolutely nothing. That to me, those type of plays need to be punished with a yellow card. Otherwise, they're going to continue to do this. And it's just not good for the game. It's not what we want in our sport. Got to get it out.
Araujo making an absolute meal out of it, and now Raul on the ground. He's grabbing at his foot, and the fans have not been happy with these reactions from the Toluca players to some of the contact that they've gotten here over the last couple of minutes. And like you said, Jacob, something that'll need to be brought under control. But as long as they have the lead, they're going to try and find ways to just disrupt the rhythm of this game. And unfortunately, we see this all the time, but this is a way that teams will do that.
It's only going to get worse.
And it is Araujo who is down on the ground. Again, he was the player that had been down on the ground. He's grabbing at the back of his right leg in the knee area as he is called on the training staff to come out and take a look. We're in the 36th minute. Sure to have some stoppage time added on to this first half. And just to recap, in case you're just joining us here on the broadcast, Sporting Kansas City taking on Toluca here in the Leagues Cup, which is a tournament between MLS and Liga MX teams. Every team from each league participating in this year's competition, the first iteration that has seen both leagues go on pause for the month so that everyone can dedicate their time and energy towards this competition and this competition alone. Sporting Kansas City have found themselves in a 2-0 hole. Goals for Toluca coming in quick succession. 29th minute, an own goal called on Danny Rosero, trying to head the ball out, but instead finds the back of the net, coming off of a cross from the right-hand side for Toluca. And then shortly after, Pedro Raul finding the back of the net on a similar type of play. And that is what has given Toluca a 2-0 advantage. Sporting Kansas City started the game strong, but it has been all Toluca the last 10 to 15 minutes of this one. As first half is running out, Sporting Kansas City going to need to find their way back into this game and just create some more dangerous opportunities, being a little bit more refined and sharp in the final third. Jake Davis battling it out to win the ball back for Sporting, and he played it back to Rosero. Gadi Kinda now fouled in the midfield. He'll pick up a free kick for Sporting at the top of the center circle inside their own half. And Valtero will play that short. Sporting now just moving it around. Fontas inside to Johnny Russell. Two of the players that were part of the starting lineup that faced this Toluca side back in the CONCACAF Champions League in 2019. Sporting won that two-leg series by an aggregate score of 5-0. And this is the first international competition that Toluca has participated in since that competition back in 2019. And they've had a strong start in Leagues Cup. So far, undefeated. And are looking to be on their way to doing that here tonight, unless Sporting Kansas City can turn things around. Kyrie Shelton cutting across into the middle. He finds Eric Tommy, who slips it over to Andreu Fontas. Fontas taking the space. He'll push it out wide now to Tim Leibold. Leibold back to Fontas. Sporting Kansas City have numbers around the 18. Can they find their way through? Johnny Russell now with the ball. He plays it across. No one there. That one just a little too much over the heads of all of his teammates. Danny Rosero helping to win it near half field for SKC. Puts it back in the mix. And now here comes Gadi Kinda on the ball. Slipping it wide now to Johnny Russell on the near side. Johnny Russell cutting into the 18. Plays it across. That one, an excellent ball, but no one there to push it home.
That was a few times where Sporting, they're getting themselves into good spots. The final product just isn't there. And look, Toluca 100% deserve this lead right now. At 54% of the ball, are out shooting Sporting 8-1 right now, which just tells you the danger level of both these teams. Toluca clearly going for it. Sporting having a hard time creating these sort of meaningful chances around goal.
The substitution for Toluca, Maximiliano Arujo, who had gone to ground a couple of times over the last few minutes, has been subbed out for Mauricio Aices. So Toluca already using one of their substitutions. As we are in the 41st minute, just a few minutes and stoppage time remaining. Eric Tommy out wide to Leibold. Leibold back to Tommy. Tommy trying to cut inside, but instead will help win a corner for Sporting. This is their first of the night.
It might take a corner kick to get Sporting some life. With Danny Rosero going to be the target. Sporting really need a lift right now, and it's not coming from the run of play.
Danny Rosero is trying to get open, but that one a bit short.
Can't hit that first man. That's the number one thing with set pieces. You got to get it over that first guy. Kinda leaves that one short.
Kinda now on the near side plays it back to Tim Leibold into Felipe Gutierrez, who tries to turn past his man, but instead dispossessed. One back by Fontas inside to Remy Voltaire. Now back to Jake Davis. Fontas into Gadi Kinda. Out wide to Leibold. Sporting trying to push things forward. Felipe Gutierrez picked out by Leibold in the middle of the pitch. He tries to dribble and find an opening. Still Felipe Gutierrez. He plays it across now. No one there at the top of the box. Cleared away by Toluca. Rosero tracking back and heads it back with a touch for Jake Davis. And now Sporting will look to go again. Toluca have kind of eased off the gas a little bit. Jacob, how do you anticipate they'll try to manage this game now that they do have the lead?
I think they're doing an excellent job.
Tim Leibold gets himself an opening, but that one, as he has a go, will go wide and into the cauldron.
As I was saying, they're doing an excellent job. Right here's a great ball from Johnny Russell. Leibold has to have a shot from there. Again, the left back is the one that is the most advanced for Sporting in that moment, which is good that he's going forward, but you need more from some of those other attacking players. And Toluca, Ali, to finish answering, they're comfortable. They're not giving up a ton of shots. That's just a second shot that Sporting have had almost through the entire first half here. The Sporting are finding themselves in okay spots, but just not being able to deliver it. And I think Toluca has the numbers in the box to deal with those crosses. It's partly why Sporting haven't been successful, but I think Toluca, it's important for them to get into the half at 2-0 for Sporting. It would be a massive lift if they could steal one here.
A nice little one touch from Jake Davis into Kyrie Shelton. He tries to play it across. That one defended well, but goes out for a corner for Sporting Kansas City. Valder Huerta, the one to play it out, the captain for Toluca. Johnny Russell now jogging over to the far side to take this one. He was the one who helped set up the play. Dribbling all the way across field with a man on his back to find Jake Davis. He played it in to Shelton. Shelton earning the corner. Russell to take it into the box. That one headed away and will go out behind for another corner, this time from the near side, as Tommy jogging over with Gadi Kinda.
That's the ball, though. That's the type of ball whipped in with pace. Give your guys a shot. It was well defended from Toluca. Now another opportunity here. Gadi Kinda's turn.
Gadi Kinda. That one just not enough. Cleared away. Tim Leibold chasing it down. Now inside to Felipe Gutierrez, who can't quite get past his man. And that one cleared out on the near side for a throw-in for Sporting. Still in a dangerous position. Kinda out wide to Gutierrez. Now back to Kinda. Sporting have been in Toluca's half these last few minutes. Kinda looking over top for Kyrie Shelton. Kyrie Shelton just can't quite get on the end of it. He was trying to track that ball out of the air. Didn't necessarily have the best angle, but we'll get another look.
And it's a great ball from Gadi Kinda. Kyrie Shelton doesn't get the touch that's needed there, but a great look. A great run from Kyrie. Just got to complete that final touch on it. It wasn't an easy one, but it's one that you still expect to get it on target.
Well, for as much as Sporting have struggled, at least at the beginning of this season, they have been good recently and find themselves in a somewhat unfamiliar position right now, Jacob, as they have not trailed at half in their last 9 home games across all competitions. Johnny Russell putting the moves on his defender inside the 18, and we'll get a corner for Sporting KC out of it. And this one will be their third, as we have hit the 45-minute mark. We'll see how much stoppage time is added on. Sporting with an opportunity here to pull one back as they trail 2-0. Gadi Kinda plays that one in, punched away by Volpe, but only as far as Gutierrez. Gutierrez finding an opening. He'll have a go. That one off the crossbar. Finds its way to Fontas, and what a strike! Andreu Fontas, looking like a number 9 out there, pulls one back for Sporting Kansas City. And we've got a game, but it looks like the flag was raised for offside. And that is too bad for Andreu Fontas, who absolutely buried that one, Jacob. But offside flag was raised, and Volpe is on the ground.
And I was thinking that it might have been an offside call there as that ball came back off the crossbar from Felipe Gutierrez. It was a great hit. I have yet to see a replay of it. I think Kyrie Shelton was the first one that touched it. We'll see. Ball comes in. Felipe Gutierrez. It's a good hit. Kyrie Shelton is offside. And he is the first guy to touch it. And it eventually falls to Andreu Fontas, and it's a great finish from Fonte with Kyrie Shelton there. Just walking up. He's got to see the line. It's just a simple jog of 2 steps to keep yourself onside there. Just that lack of awareness from Kyrie caused him to be in that offside position. I think that's the right call in the end.
And that is the official decision after the video review. No goal for offside, and unfortunate for Sporting, as that could have been a huge boost of momentum going into the half. Now still need to find their way out of a 2-goal deficit.
it's just a couple steps. It's just a couple steps of a jog. And that's all that it is. And if Kyrie Shelton does that, he's still going to be the first one to that ball. And everything probably would have played out the exact same way. It's just laziness, quite frankly.
Well, that could be a moment that when this game is all said and done, we could look back on as being a game-changing play. Sporting will hope that's not the case and can try to do enough to get their way back in. Gadi Kinda could be the hero. Picks it up with some space in the middle of the pitch. Slips it out wide to Johnny Russell. One time across. Kyrie Shelton gets a head on it, but that one going over the bar is... he kind of crashed into it.
That would have taken something very special. Just had that full speed coming in. Height on that ball, the distance. Nothing that really Kyrie Shelton could do right there, but I got to credit the Toluca defense. Every time there's one of those quick turnovers, Toluca immediately gets 8 players behind the ball, making life very difficult for Sporting.
Well, there is the halftime whistle. Sporting Kansas City down 2-0 against Toluca here in the round of 32 of the League's Cup. Goal in the 29th minute kicked things off, and that was an own goal header by Danny Rosero, just trying to clear it out. And then moments later, Pedro Raul made it 2 for Toluca, who have continued their excellent form in this League's Cup competition, being one of the best offensive teams. Can Sporting find a spark offensively in the second half to find their way back in this game? Stay tuned to find out. We'll be back here on Sports Radio 810 in just a few to recap that first half of action and look ahead to the second. Back after this on 810 WHB.
Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Children's Mercy Kansas City believes that every child deserves more. More everyday solutions to keep kids safe and healthy. More life-changing research to fight rare diseases. More working together with parents, schools, and our community.
Because I'm going places.
We hope you'll join us at childrensmercy.org/imagine.
Sheet Metal Workers Local Number 2 in Kansas City, Missouri are proud of the men and women of the trade and labor organizations which built Children's Mercy Park from the ground up and protected the rights of working people throughout the country for over 130 years. Sheet Metal Workers Local Number 2 is always looking for hardworking, dedicated people who are seeking a career. This from Sheet Metal Workers Local Number 2 in Kansas City, Missouri, reminding us to always stand up and protect the future of all. For more information, go to www.sheetmetal2.org.
Whether you're looking for a little refresh or ready to overhaul every room, NFM makes shopping for your home easy. With new arrivals daily in furniture, flooring, appliances, and electronics, we're your go-to store for legendary low prices, long-term financing, and a better shopping experience. Take a stroll through our store or scroll through our website. Use our easy drive-through pickup or schedule professional delivery and installation. Big selection, big savings at NFM.
Everyone said I should go to a traditional university, but I chose WGU. Their online RN to BSN degree is perfect for working nurses like me. I'm able to use my experience to move through courses faster, and the study time I put in between shifts actually pays off at work. WGU's CCNE accredited degrees are built by healthcare leaders, so I know I'll be graduating from a top-notch BSN program that employers respect. Learn more at wgu.edu.
Flat. Do you avoid stairs with multiple steps? You are not alone. This year, millions will be diagnosed with low energy, or low E. But Planet Fitness has the cure. With clean, spacious clubs and tons of equipment, you can boost your energy after one workout. Leave low E behind and find your big fitness energy at Planet Fitness. Join in the free PF app for only $10 a month.
Your Kansas City Planet Fitness locations are a proud partner in the official gym of Sporting KC.
See Home Club for details.
Kick your hunger to the sidelines this season by satisfying your flame-grilled cravings with the Sporting KC Whopper Deal at your local Kansas City area Burger King locations. Enjoy 2 of Burger King's signature flame-grilled Whoppers and 2 small fries for only $10.99 at all participating Kansas City area Burger King locations all season long. Grab your Sporting KC Whopper Deal today, and don't forget to order on the Burger King mobile app. Burger King, you rule. Single items at regular price on menu, upsize modifications, and tax extra.
Hi, this is Toby Tobin along with Jason Goodenkoff from Lewisburg Ford in Lewisburg, Kansas. Hi, Jason.
Hello, Toby.
Let's talk about the buying experience at Lewisburg Ford.
It's the best anywhere. Just ask all our customers, Toby. It is hands down the best experience you can have buying a new car. We have the no-hassle Toby Tobin price that we've had for 35 years now. Nobody else can say that. We've been saving Kansas City thousands and thousands of dollars for a lot of years.
I have been buying Ford cars and trucks from Lewisburg Ford for over 30 years, and I know personally this is the best place to buy a Ford car or truck. Great prices. But there's a whole lot more than that.
It doesn't just stop at price, Toby.
Yeah.
There's other factors to this equation, and it's trade-in allowance, financing, and the experience of how knowledgeable the people are that you're dealing with. And we surpass everybody in all those areas. We always have. We always will. That's why calling us is important.
Do you have that new pickup?
Absolutely. And it's dynamite.
Okay. Lewisburg Ford is your best place to buy a Ford car or truck. What's your toll-free number?
816-444-2300.
Lewisburg Ford or LewisburgFord.com.
Kansas City's hometown sports station. Sports Radio 810 WHB Kansas City.
Welcome back to Children's Mercy Park Leagues Cup action underway here tonight on this Friday night edition of Sporting Kansas City Soccer. We are in halftime here between SKC and Toluca in the round of 32, and Sporting Kansas City trailing by a scoreline of 2-0. They came out strong to start the game, but really things started to take a turn around the 25th minute, Jacob, and from there it was pretty much all Toluca for the next 15 minutes. 29th minute was the first goal for Toluca, and it was an own goal on Danny Rosero, and then shortly after, Pedro Raul made it 2 for the visitors. But Sporting Kansas City had some moments to get back in this game, and the biggest being just there at the end of the half when Felipe Gutierrez ball off the crossbar and pops back out. Fontas picks it up inside the box, buries it, but ruled offside for just Kyrie Shelton not being back in time on the play. So Sporting Kansas City remain down 2-0. We've got Daniel Shallowy out on the pitch warming up right now. I figure we will see him to start the second half. But overall, what would you make of that first half performance by Sporting? Do they deserve to be down 2-0?
Yes, 100%. And I do agree with you, Elliot. For about 15, 20 minutes, I thought Sporting were good. They were better with the ball, pinning Toluca back, not really giving too much up on the other end. But then that breakaway happened with Toluca when Pedro Raul got in behind the defense, and it was a big-time save from John Polskamp to keep that one out. But ever since that moment, it was almost like that gave Toluca some life and some confidence and said, hey, we can go out and do it. And they completely dominated the rest of the half, maybe until the last couple of minutes when Sporting were throwing some numbers forward. And I don't always agree with Apple TV's expected goals numbers, as we've talked about, but 1.9 XG for Toluca, 0.09 for Sporting. I think that sums up just how little Sporting created on the attacking end, and then the big-time chances that Toluca had. And we talked about how against Chivas, this back line and Sporting were so good at limiting the opportunities that Chivas had. We said Toluca's a much better team going forward. They proved it in this tournament, scoring 4 goals in both games, leading in expected goals as well. Right now, they completely deserve those 2 goals. And really, without those 2 massive saves from John Polskamp, this could be 3 or 4-0 right now, just with the way that things are going. Sporting have to figure it out. I'd expect Daniel Shallowy to come on at half, whether that's for Kyrie Shelton or maybe you could pull Felipe Gutierrez, drop Eric Tommy back, or switch something around there. But I think Daniel Shallowy has to get in this game. He's one of the best attacking players for Sporting, and they need all the offense they can get right now.
Absolutely, and Toluca, no stranger to score lines that see them putting up 4 goals. Those were the numbers in both of their group stage games, 4-3 over Nashville, 4-1 over Colorado. Sporting Kansas City need to find a way back in this one, and Daniel Shallowy is going to be the player that we're watching to see when he will make his move into this match, and who for, as he was the only player warming up at the halftime break for Sporting Kansas City. But Jacob, when you look at the second half, we just talked about what Sporting Kansas City need to do. How do you expect Toluca to come out in this half? Are they going to be satisfied and comfortable with where they're at now, up 2-0, given how little offense Sporting have had?
Based on what I've seen in this tournament from Toluca, no. They scored 2 goals in stoppage time against the Colorado Rapids as they were throwing numbers forward, trying to even that game up. So I think Toluca might sit back a little bit, just like they did towards the end of that half, but then they're going to be so dangerous on the counter. They've got pace. They join with numbers, and really their commitment to defending. And as soon as the ball turns over, they get back and they defend the goal, which has been impressive to watch from up here. And it's these other things, these metrics that aren't mainstream or kind of get swept under the rug. But Jules won. Toluca is beating Sporting in that, and tackles won. Toluca are also winning in those metrics, which just means that they came here, and yes, they out-soccered Sporting, but I also thought they outworked and they outcompeted Sporting, and that's a recipe for disaster if you're Sporting. I still think there is something there, because Sporting can get one, especially early on, and as we're watching highlights here, New England Revolution came from down 2-0 in their game against Atlas and ended up winning in a shootout. Sporting can do it. The opportunities are going to be there, but they have to change their mindset from what it was in that first half, because that just overall was not good enough on both sides of the ball.
Well, we will see how Sporting Kansas City come out in this second half, just moments away from the final 45 minutes in this one. Down 2-0 at the moment. Can Sporting Kansas City come back? They just need to tie it up by the end of regulation to send it into a penalty shootout to determine a winner, and that winner will go on through to the round of 16 in this Leagues Cup competition. Second half coming your way next here from Children's Mercy Park. Stay with us.
Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Hey, Soren Petro here. When you need brilliant, sparkling diamonds, go see my friend Gary Joslin and his family at Joslin's Jewelry. For 40 years, Gary has stood behind everything in his store, from thousands of small jewelry repairs to that once-in-a-lifetime engagement ring. Joslin wants to be your jeweler for life. That's why Joslin's is the jeweler you'll recommend to your friends and family. See him at 95th and Antioch, online at joslinsjewelry.com.
Johnson's Jewelry for the best that's yet to come.
Join the best in banking when you open your account with Central Bank. We're rooted in legendary customer service and have the tools to make banking easy. Our award-winning mobile app has more than 30,000 reviews and a 4.9 star rating. Experience it for yourself and see why our customers love it. We can't wait to show you how awesome it is to bank with us. Get started by visiting centralbank.net/betterbanking. Central Bank, strong roots, endless possibilities. Member FDIC.
Is your new year still falling flat? Do you avoid stairs with multiple steps? You are not alone. This year, millions will be diagnosed with low energy or low E. But Planet Fitness has the cure. With clean, spacious clubs and tons of equipment, you can boost your energy after one workout. Leave low E behind and find your big fitness energy at Planet Fitness. Join in the free PF app for only $10 a month.
Your Kansas City Planet Fitness locations are a proud partner in the official gym of Sporting KC.
See Home Club for details.
Sheet Metal Workers Local Number 2 in Kansas City, Missouri are proud of the men and women of the trade and labor organizations which built Children's Mercy Park from the ground up and protected the rights of working people throughout the country for over 130 years. Sheet Metal Workers Local Number 2 is always looking for hardworking, dedicated people who are seeking a career. This from Sheet Metal Workers Local Number 2 in Kansas City, Missouri, reminding us to always stand up and protect the future of all. For more information, go to www.sheetmetal2.org.
Whether you're looking for a little refresh or ready to overhaul every room, NFM makes shopping for your home easy. With new arrivals daily in furniture, flooring, appliances, and electronics, we're your go-to store for legendary low prices, long-term financing, and a better shopping experience. Take a stroll through our store or scroll through our website. Use our easy drive-through pickup or schedule professional delivery and installation. Big selection, big savings at NFM.
Hey, KC, this is Jack Johnson from The Shift on ESPN Kansas City to tell you about the law firm of Gerritsen and Toff. They handle the most complex felony, federal, or state criminal defense cases. What sets them apart, though, from the average criminal defense firm is that they were prosecutors for 25 years. If you have any doubts, just Google them. You'll find they have been doing this successfully, helping criminal defendants all over the Kansas City area for years. If you or someone you know are in trouble, call Gerritsen and Toff. They can help no matter the size of the problem.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
Got chronic joint pain but want to avoid steroids and surgery? Take some advice from pro football legend Emmitt Smith. Call QC Kinetics.
Let QC Kinetics help you improve your quality of life with biologic therapies that get your body to repair and restore damaged tissue.
These exciting new regenerative treatments from local medical professionals can help your body heal itself with lasting pain relief.
Trust me, you want to avoid surgery if you can. Check out these biologic treatments to see what your options are.
QC Kinetics, restorative regenerative solution.
Welcome back to Children's Mercy Park. Just seconds away from second half action. Toluca taking the field. Sporting Kansas City's starters are huddled up, and Daniel Shallowy has made his way into the match, as we'll have his replacement for you here in just a moment. But Sporting Kansas City down 2-0 entering the next 45. And Toluca didn't take them much time to jump out to a 2-0 lead in a span of just a few minutes. They were able to find their way ahead in this one. And now Sporting Kansas City are going to see if they can make things interesting here in this second half. Daniel Shallowy has checked into the match for Kyrie Shelton. And so Sporting Kansas City won't change things up too much. Shallowy will just go out to his natural left wing position. Eric Tommy will remain as the false 9, and Johnny Russell out on the right wing. But also getting a look now at Roger Espinoza receiving some instruction or just having a conversation with the technical staff. So could see more substitutions coming here as the second half gets underway. And it is here from Children's Mercy Park. Toluca on the ball. And almost a giveaway in the midfield, but they're able to keep it. Gotti Kinda now bringing some pressure. As Toluca being a little aggressive, trying to look over the top. One back by Sporting. Dispossessed. And now Sporting Kansas City back on the ball. Fontas playing it all the way back to Polskamp, who had a pair of big saves for Sporting in that first half. Scoreline does not necessarily reflect how strong of a performance, Jacob, he's had so far in this game.
He has been good, especially in those two moments. Nothing he could do about either of the goals, but certainly kept Sporting in this one. At least gives them a chance here. The second half gets underway, and like that, Daniel Shallowy has gone out to the left, move Johnny Russell back over to the right. He's just so much more effective when he plays on the right. He can go either way. When he plays on the left, he's just so restricted by what he's able to do.
Well, now here comes Toluca. Raul plays it up left-hand side. Cross attempted inside the middle of the 18, cleared away by Rosero. That was Mauricio Aices, who subbed into the game in that first half for Arohu. And a poor pass up the near side will give the ball back to Sporting with a throw-in at half field. Jake Davis to take it. Sporting Kansas City talking a lot at the start of this tournament and in the media leading up to this game here tonight about just how seriously they're taking this Leagues Cup competition. Anytime there's a chance to lift a trophy is an opportunity. And even though there is the pause in regular season play, which for some clubs, maybe you look at that as a chance to get some rest and try and maybe get guys healthier or just take some time to not be in the thick of things. You know, for Sporting Kansas City, there's a good amount of momentum, Jacob, that has been or, you know, could have been picked up from at least those first two games and can be rolled into the return of the regular season where Sporting need to start making a push up the table.
And even if, let's say Sporting, if they lose this game, right, there's still 3 weeks until your next MLS game.
Yeah.
So you want to keep in at least a little bit of a rhythm. And I think looking at this from a league schedule angle, it's not the end of the world if you lose in the Leagues Cup, but you do want to build some momentum, start getting some confidence, at least win this game, at least maybe one more game, and then I think you'd be okay. Of course, competitors, you want to be out there and you want to win, and Peter Vermees has always said it, and you mentioned it, Ali, but any competition that Sporting's in, as long as Peter Vermees has been involved, you want to go out and win, and you want to get maximum points, and every single player out there on the field feels the same way. Just right now, they're going to have to take something pretty special to get back in it.
It's a bad giveaway by Gadi Kinda, and now here comes Toluca, shot blocked by John Pulskamp, and yet again, Sporting Kansas City bailed out by their keeper. Robert Morales was the one who really had the opportunity here for Toluca, and Gadi Kinda put it on a platter for him.
Yeah, what a save, John Pulskamp. It's actually good defending, just to delay. Danny Rosero, but a huge save, very uncharacteristic for Gadi Kinda. John Pulskamp again keeping his team in this.
But it goes off of Pulskamp last behind goal for a Toluca corner. So Sporting not out of danger yet. Played it short to Brian Garcia. Combination play on that right-hand side. Now played over to Meneses. Tries to slip it inside, but blocked by Tommy. One back, though, by Toluca. Now going to look to just move it around, and a shot from distance. That one going just wide of the target, but not a bad hit by Isais.
There is just no energy with Sporting here. It's a good hit. And John Pulskamp had that one covered. But Toluca is just ready to press right off that goal kick. They've really done a good job at completely taking away the home fans here.
Felipe Gutierrez under quite a bit of pressure, trying to dribble his way out of it, and a nervy pass across the top of the 18. Sporting able to come away with it. And now a couple of quick long passes. Gadi Kinda all the way through to Daniel Shallowy. Shallowy only's got one defender in front of him. Now a couple. Slips it out wide to Eric Tommy, who's able to, well, look like he perhaps won a corner, but not quite able to.
That's just another opportunity where it looked like Sporting were going to get out on the break with numbers up. But the commitment for Toluca to get numbers back, not behind the ball here, but at least back in their box. They had 6 players recovering on that one. It's been an excellent effort, especially defensively for Toluca.
And now a mistake by Toluca on the far side, just a poor touch. Sends the ball out of bounds for Garcia. Sporting Kansas City throw-in. Andreu Fontas picking out passes. Remy Voltaire taking a ground. That one, a definite foul on Robert Morales. And Voltaire, I think, appealing for a card on that play. But either way, we'll set Sporting up for a free kick. Tommy was trying to take it quickly, but Toluca player was right there. And now they'll play it quick and short. Voltaire back to Fontas. Cross to Rosero. Now Davis. And just a misplayed ball. He and Felipe Gutierrez not on the same page. Toluca winning it back. And Jacob, Toluca just playing so much quicker at the moment.
They just have more energy. They just look more up for this game. And we said basically the opposite against Chivas, right? Where Chivas looked sluggish and heavy legs and just not around the ball. Toluca are dynamic when they're defending, and then they are very clean when they've been in possession, especially I think the passing out of the back from Hertha, Masquera has been very good. Sporting can't seem to make any positive plays so far in the second half.
Here comes Toluca, bringing some numbers forward. Ball out on the far side. Now they're coming the other way. Huerta. Back to Mosquera. Sporting players trying to release and bring some of that pressure, but Toluca now just passing in circles around Sporting, and a ball played through to Raul inside the box, plays it across. That one buried. Toluca make it 3, and Sporting Kansas City find themselves in even deeper of a hole than before. That was just textbook right there by Toluca, perhaps their best goal in this game.
It's a great team goal from Toluca. It's just similar to what we saw in the first half. It's good possession, but then good line-splitting passes. Here, just a simple run behind Danny Rosero. Andreu Fontas can't come over and cover. A good ball across the box. Pedro Raul, simple tap-in at the back post for Morales. But this is the difference, is Sporting, when they get out on the break, Toluca gets numbers behind the ball. They're aggressive. They go make plays on the ball. Right there, Sporting had numbers back. They just didn't make the plays. Andreu Fontas either didn't communicate to Rosero that Raul was running in behind, or Rosero was late to recognize. And then Tim Leibold wasn't able to come across when Fontas had to go out to defend the ball. And it's just one thing after another. Everybody's late. And when you're late, you're playing against a good team, you're going to get scored on.
Well, Toluca just continuing to pad that stat sheet with more goals. Sporting Kansas City here in a dangerous spot. Jake Davis whips it across 6-yard box and goes all the way out on the other side, but able to be kept in by Leibold, who now tries to play it across and will instead earn a corner for SKC. Strong effort by him to not just keep it in play, but to get something out of that for Sporting. It looked like it was just going to roll out on the other side for a throw-in. Andy Kinda will take it. This is the 5th corner of the night for Sporting. They haven't been able to make much of any of them. Danny Rosero finds himself in a dangerous spot. That one, though, finds the keeper, Volpe, on the ground, and it looks like that'll be a foul as the training staff coming over to take a look.
And there's contact.
Yeah.
There's contact there. I'm okay with that foul call.
Sporting Kansas City will make a substitution here in the 57th minute. Roger Espinoza will check into the game for Felipe Gutierrez, who was playing on a yellow card.
Substitution for Sporting Kansas City in the 57th minute.
Daniel Shallowy driving into the 18, looking for Johnny Russell. That one cleared away by Huerta.
Again, though, Allie, 6 Toluca players defending their own box. Only 2 for Sporting are up there.
And another substitution for SKC, Caden Pierre making his return to the field in place of Jake Davis. as that is a welcome sight. Caden Pierre had been dealing with a hamstring injury for quite some time. Toluca almost looking to get themselves out on the break again. Eric Tommy tracking back to help win it back in the midfield, but muscled off the ball by Juan Dominguez. And now Toluca back in possession. Just dominating it with these line-breaking balls. Roger Espinoza trying to play one of his own. That one cut out by Huerta. Now Toluca slowing things down. And just playing with so much confidence, Jacob. You can just even tell in some of their movements and their passes, they know that they're going to have the ball.
And they're breaking the press so easily. And you could hear some of their fans in the crowd giving the olays, which is the inverse of what happened down in Toluca in that Champions League matchup we talked about earlier. Sporting are by far the better team here. Toluca is just outclassing Sporting straight up in this game.
Well, and there's still plenty of time left in this game as we are just in the 59th minute, so Sporting Kansas City still have quite a ways to go. Raul with a go from just inside the 18. But that one will sail very far wide. He was kind of off balance and way off target.
And he's an interesting player to watch. He's got serious size where you think he'd be a target man, but his runs are dynamic in the channels.
Caden Pierre trying to win the ball back after losing it to Meneses. And we'll be able to win a throw-in here on the near side. Pierre to take it. Trying to play into Eric Tommy, who loses the first ball but wins back the second and earns the foul. And things are getting chippy now down on the field between Tommy and some of these Toluca players, but
I know you commented on it, Allie, but got lost in the shuffle with that third Toluca goal. But it's great to see Caden Pierre back out on the field for Sporting as he's on the ball now.
Trying to combine up the right-hand side with Johnny Russell. A little give and go, but that one defended well. Toluca just with numbers back defensively. Now a smart little touch out of some pressure for Andreu Fontas to play back up the middle into Gadi Kinda, who gets pushed off the ball, and that'll be brought back for a foul. Gadi Kinda wondering why there's no card shown on the play. Not too dangerous of a spot for this free kick, but either way, a chance for Sporting to try and make something out of it.
And I just really don't understand what Sporting players are getting so angry for at the referee. As now the referee does give a yellow card to Morales for blocking that restart from Remy Voltaire, but Sporting players, their anger at the referee is misdirected here. They should look at themselves. I think the performance that they put out on the field is not good enough. This is not the referee's fault. As you know, Allie, I will be quick to criticize the referees if they are having a shocker like the last one did. Right now, this is because of the play out on the field that Sporting just not up for this game.
Well, Sporting Kansas City started this game pretty strong. It has been all Toluca ever since they were able to find the back of the net the first time, and now we've got a player on the ground as that one looked somewhat painful. And it looked like the Toluca player immediately waved on trainers. It looked awkward on the first glance, Jacob, but hard to tell how much is there. As we're getting a look at the fans now, but looks like play is about to resume as It was Isis on the ground. He's shaking it off. And they immediately look over the top. Toluca do. And one-on-one with the keeper. That one put away. What a finish. Toluca have made it for Juan Dominguez. Sporting Kansas City just caught standing and not ready off of the free kick that was all the way back in Toluca's half. And the Liga Mackey side putting on a show here at Children's Mercy Park. Johnny Russell has his arms outstretched wide, asking some major questions of his team after that one. And while the first two goals for Toluca may have, you may have been able to draw on some things at Sporting, could have done better, but this right here, Jacob, you've got to do better.
I don't even know what to say. This is so basic. This is just simple as it gets. A free kick inside their own half. Plenty of time for the back four to get this sorted out. It's a good run from Dominguez, who I think has been very lively in this game, and it's a good finish to get around John Polskamp. But that is horrendous defending and awareness from that Sporting Kansas City backline. There is too much experience between Tim Leibold, Andreu Fontas, Danny Brosero to have that happen. It's inexcusable.
Well, we are in the 65th minute, still a good amount of time left in this game, and for Sporting Kansas City, their hope's got to be that they just don't let this go off the rails any more than it already has, as they find themselves down 4-0. Give and go on the near side between Roger Espinoza and Caden Pierre. Pierre defended by Huerta to win it back for Toluca. And now here they come again, quickly moving it upfield. Dominguez gets on his horse. Ball played over the top, looking for Dominguez. Cuts it back. Tim Leibold in good position that time. He plays it across. And Toluca just get a little ahead of themselves, unable to do much with it. And Danny Rosero clearing it out into Voltaire. Out wide to Espinoza. And now over to the other side, Gadi Kinda crossing into half field. Finds Daniel Shallowy. Trying to cut inside, but a poor touch. Puts it in front of Toluca, who knock it out for an SKC throw-in on the far side. Kinda to take it. He plays it back into Leibold. To Rosero. Into Espinoza, through to Johnny Russell. Johnny Russell chasing it down in line. But Toluca, yet again, Huerta, but now a bad giveaway in the box. Eric Tommy trying to find one for Sporting Kansas City. That goes just wide of the target, and the referee says Volpe got the last touch, so that'll be a corner for SKC.
It's a rare mistake from Toluca in this game. Eric Tommy opens up, does what he's supposed to do. It's actually a good sliding challenge from the Toluca defender. Get the last touch on that. Johnny Russell will this in-swinging corner.
Sixth corner of the night. Ball towards the near post, headed away first by Toluca. Picked back up by Remy Voltaire. Toluca now have scored 4 goals in each of their Leagues Cup games in this competition. Running away with the most goals in the competition, and really showing no signs of slowing down in this game, which is a scary proposition for Sporting Kansas City. Eric Tommy dribbling towards the 18, flips it back to Gadi Kinda. His shot takes a deflection into the arms now of Volpe. And for Sporting, Jacob, a goal may not do much in terms of closing the gap, as Toluca have made this one a comfortable lead, but the hope would have to be that they take some of the wind out of the sails of this Toluca team that just have really found their form and their rhythm in this match.
Yeah, maybe. It's hard to say because of how good Toluca are.
Roger Espinoza now trying to play it in through to Eric Tommy, running into the box. Deflected back out to the feet of Espinoza, who's now forced backwards under a lot of pressure. He's able to get out of it. Slips it inside to Remy Voltaire in the middle. He dribbles forward, finds it over to Eric Tommy. Now Shallowy inside the 18, cutting back. He gets a shot off. That one chips over the bar, and it took a deflection, so that'll be another corner for SKC. They're 7. And Sporting now with a few chances here back-to-back.
And that was good work. First from Roger Espinosa, then Remy Voltaire, and finally the ball worked its way out to Daniel Shallowy. But you see how difficult it is for Sporting just to get into those spots. Toluca, it's not one guy, it's not two guys. It's every single player on the team that's making that effort, making life miserable for Sporting. And on the flip side, Sporting is just letting Toluca pick out passes, run in behind with very little defense at all. Clearly, one team came to play here tonight, and Sporting did not.
And a few substitutions for Toluca as well, as we are getting those for you here. And here they are. Edgar Lopez will enter the match for Robert Morales. Tomas Belmonte will enter the game for Marcel Ruiz. And Jesus Angulo will enter the game for Jean Meneses. Sporting not able to capitalize on that corner opportunity as we are in the 70th minute. Sporting down 4-0 over Toluca here in this Leagues Cup round of 32 matchup. Remy Voltaire on the ball, under pressure, dribbling backwards, finds Danny Rosero. Eric Tommy trying to dribble out of a lot of pressure and find an outlet, but dispossessed by Raul. And Tommy then called for the foul, trying to win it back. He is confused as to how that was a foul. Sporting Kansas City now responding with substitution of their own. Marinos Johnny's will enter the game for the captain, Johnny Russell. And this is his 50th career appearance all time for Sporting Kansas City. For Marinos Johnny's, that is. And how about this moment? Willie Agata making his return to the field for Sporting Kansas City. He's been out the last couple of months after having to undergo surgery for a tibia fracture, and he is now back on the field for Sporting Kansas City. A great thing to see for the hungry and happy, ambitious forward who will go back to his advanced central forward spot, which will push Eric Tommy back into the midfield. Sporting trying to move it around now. Have some fresh legs and some new blood out on the pitch. Jacob, what would you like to see from Agata and Johnny? Says Sporting Kansas City with a good chance here. Leibold playing it across, looking for Espinoza. That one headed away, but only as far as Caden Pierre. Trying to give and go now with Espinoza. And Toluca winning it back. Trying to spark something going forward to Edgar Lopez, but chased down by Remy Voltaire, who wins it back at half field to put Sporting back in possession. Andreu Fantas now crossing half field. He tries to play it, but just too heavy of a touch up the left-hand side to Leibold, who hadn't gotten out on the run just yet. So that one will roll out of bounds for a goal kick for Toluca.
To answer your question, Allie, I just want to see both of them be aggressive. And in that last play, As Tim Leibel got up the field, both Willie Gata and Marinos Johnny's checked for the ball at the top of the box. Get in the box if you're Johnny's. Make that far post run. Don't come across and try to get the ball to your feet. Everybody on Sporting, they want the ball to their feet, which is fine. But you need somebody to run off the ball. You need somebody to stretch the defense, as you see Pedro Raul do time and time again.
And Raul on the ball now, getting on the end of a ball played over the top. He will flick it back to Juan Dominguez. And a fifth goal would be pretty devastating for Sporting Kansas City. And it has been all Toluca. 4-0 the scoreline. 13 shots to 6 for the visitors. And they have not slowed down that dominance in the second half. As we get a look at Alan Pulido on the MLS Season Pass broadcast, he is serving his second of a 2-game suspension tonight. If Sporting were to stay alive in the tournament, he would make his return in the round of 16. Not looking all that likely at the moment. Shallowy cutting around the first defender, but can't get past the second. Toluca winning it back, but a bad giveaway. Tim Leibold now on it. He plays it across. That one takes a touch and goes behind as Toluca defender was outstretched. Mosquera trying to get a foot on it, and that'll set Sporting up for another corner. This is their 9th of the night.
And that's the right run, though, from Johnny's. A strong run to the goal, not to the top of the box. And you've got to put the defense under pressure, as Toluca's first 2 goals showed. Just got to make the run.
Eric Tommy sending that one in. Headed away by Raul. But only as far as Leibold. Tommy trying to play it across. And the offside flag was raised. So that'll turn the ball back over to Toluca.
That is so good from Toluca. It looks like nothing at all. It's not going to show up. Yes, there's the offside call, but that ball is only really on the top of the box. And every single Toluca player steps up immediately to get their line to force Eric Tommy offside. It's been excellent. Everything that Toluca has done. And yes, we've said a lot of negative things about the way that Sporting are playing, but Toluca are bossing this game and are really putting out a good performance on both sides.
It's interesting, though, Jacob, because Chivas did not look all that sharp in the match on Monday night. And we talked a little bit about, whether it was a situation where they just started their Liga MX season, only 3 games in. Are they not as sharp? Toluca look like they are midway through a championship run with how they've been playing here tonight. As Caden Pierre dashing forward, trying to get into the 18. He stopped at the top of the box. And Toluca quickly trying to get out and go the other way. But ball won back by Leibold. Now Espinoza playing it back across to the far side, and Eric Tommy, who's playing in that left attacking midfield role in place of Gadi Kinda, who subbed out. Tommy picks it back up and tries to get into the 18, but dispossessed. And Toluca quickly trying to come the other way now. Caden Pierre able to cut out a pass near half field. Get the ball back in possession for Sporting. Roger Espinoza trying to slip it through to Marinos Johnny's. But Toluca staying committed defensively, had numbers back, and were able to win it back. Now Raul battling it out with Fontas and will lose out on that battle as he's the last to touch it. Throwing on the near side for Sporting, and a clearance to the far side. Turns it over. Toluca now slowing it down and sending it all the way back. Moving it around the back line. Mosquera to Huerta. 78th minute now, just about 12 minutes in stoppage time remaining. And Jacob, if you're Sporting right now, what's going through your mind for the players on the field?
I don't know. As Roger Espinosa with a great win.
Before he's then brought down. And it's hard to tell if the referee was going to call that or not, but looks like that will not be the case as play resumes, and Toluca trying to get out onto a quick break as Raul was trying to slip it through to Angulo. Espinosa looking over the top to Willie Agata. He brings it down. Now finds himself in the box. Agata off the crossbar. He gets the header on the second ball, and that one goes over the bar, beating the ground just out of frustration. Agata with the golden opportunity to pull one back for Sporting. Not sure it would have done much in terms of the end result of this game, but Agata does a great job bringing down the first ball, just not able to do anything more with it.
No, but I love this from Willie Agata. He's coming in there, and he's the one that initially heads that one to himself. Then it's a good hit. It's just unlucky. Hits the underside of the crossbar. And then, honestly, his header there to follow up wasn't bad either. It's
aggression. That's what you wanted to see.
It's exactly what. And even though he missed that chance and he's frustrated, it's moments like that when you're out for so long and you get an opportunity where okay, I can still do this. I still got this in me. And I think that's a really good sign for Willie Agata and for Sporting Kansas City, because regardless of how this game goes, Sporting are going to lose this game unless something miraculous happens here. But Sporting are going to need Agata to play meaningful minutes and to have an impact, whether that's starting or coming off the bench or whatever, if Sporting want to make a run and make the playoffs. And it's going to be a little while until Willie Agata feels like he's back to his old self where he was banging in goals last year, but that's a good sign right there. And you asked what Sporting players are feeling out there. I think it's probably different for each player. For Willie Agata, to me, there's no pressure right now. So you're going to go out there and use this as a fitness exercise. Mm-hmm. Chase down everything. Even if, hey, maybe I shouldn't go chase this down because the team's going to get out of shape. You use this as a fitness drill, essentially, if you're Willie Agata, and try to get as much as you can on the ball. Same thing with Caden Pierre.
And Agata may have been off, not sure, but he gets on the end of a pass by Caden Pierre, and it looks like he was indeed offside.
And though I'm okay with that. I'm okay with players who are looking to stretch the back line. We talked about how that just doesn't happen very often with this current group of Sporting players. Willie Agata definitely has that in his bag. He can get in behind, just puts added pressure on those center backs. And it was a good ball, too, from Caden Pierre to try to find him. I want to see more of that from not just Willie Agata, but from other players on the Sporting team.
Well, another substitution for Toluca. Jesus Venegas will replace Claudio Beza. As we are in the 82nd minute, not much time remaining. And, Jacob, when we talk about Willie Agata and how much time he's missed, at the time when he had to make the decision to get the surgery, Sporting were still in that really tough spot. They hadn't yet won a game in regular season play. And now Willie Agata, that's got to be such a motivating factor to see your team, find their way back into things a little bit. And that's the team that you're returning to.
It was unfortunate, the timing of his injury, because remember, Alan Polito, right, was still coming back himself at that time and still trying to find his form, which he absolutely did during the beginning parts of the summer. But now it's Willie Agata. It's going to take him a few games, and it's not going to be something that you're immediately back out there and you're going to start scoring goals. But it's good to see that one play right there, even chasing down the goalie. You need, as I said earlier, Sporting need him healthy and an option, just has a different look than Alan Polito as well. It's good to see. Really got it back out there.
Caden Pierre winning a poor pass in the center circle. Plays up to Marinos Janis, who's able to keep it. Espinoza now on the ball. Back to Janis. Janis into Eric Tommy, just at the top of the box. He plays it out wide to Tim Leibold, looking for the cross. That one sails over the heads of every player and falls to Caden Pierre, who was tracking it down on the far end of the 18. Now Marinos Janis back over to Tim Leibold. Tim Leibold trying to get a cross off, but that one blocked and goes out behind for another SKC corner. This will be their 10th of the night. Eric Tommy jogging over to take it. Tommy into the box. Falls to the feet of Willie Agata, who just wasn't quite ready for it. And now Toluca trying to get out on the break. Tim Leibold shut that one down with a foul in the midfield, which the better option than seeing 3 to 4 Toluca players flying forward as they've been quick to do.
Was a smart play from Tim Leibold as he's got that black eye from Andre Ufantas, kicked him in the face at the end of that game against Chivas. But that play right there, Allie, that corner, it's a very difficult play from Willie Agata, where you think Danny Rosero is probably going to get on the end of it. It just lands at your feet. But that's one of those that, coming back from an injury, there's no way you're going to be able to get that one down. Maybe if you're in the flow and you're in form, you might be able to pull that one off. But it's just those type of moments. It's good to have those type of actions in the game if you're Willie Agata and you're trying to get back yourself, not just your fitness, but also back into form.
Daniel Shallowy looking over top to Eric Tommy, making a run from the far side. He's trying to enter the 18. But sliding Jesus Venegas sends that one out for a throw-in for SKC. Defended well. Toluca has been committed on both sides of the ball tonight. Leibold finds Tommy with the throw-in. Now back to Fontas. Into Shallowy. Agata. Give and go with Shallowy. Shallowy trying to get it back to him at the top of the 18, but that one headed away by Brian Garcia. Sporting back on the ball now. 86th minute. Trailing by a score of 4-0. Their Leagues Cup run all about over here at Children's Mercy Park as they got out of the group stage with a 1-0 win over Chivas on Monday to finish second in the Central Region Group 3, but appear to not be advancing here in this one tonight. Fontas playing it through to Daniel Shallowy on the left-hand side. He cuts it back for a cross. Roger Espinoza hits it one time. That one blocked. Cleared away into Raul, who's immediately put under pressure by Rosero. Rosero keeping the ball for Sporting high up the midfield, and a strike now from distance by Marinos Janis. Hits off the defender, who had his hands and arms tucked up into his chest. Couldn't quite tell if that's the area that was hit. Sporting with a throw-in on the near side. Caden Pierre into Willie Agata, who's able to earn another corner for Sporting. This time, Eric Tommy jogging over to the near side. The 11th corner of the night for Sporting here in the 87th minute.
Right there, Allie, you forget how strong Willie Agata is. He just absolutely manhandled Mosquera, who's been a beast out there all day long for Toluca. Willie Agata, though, just adds that physical component, able to hold up the ball and then earn another corner for Sporting.
It's been good to see him back in this game, and that one played just a little bit short, headed away. Now all the way back to Caden Pierre, who plays it in to Leibold. Infantas. Sporting just moving it around now in Toluca's half. This game all but officially a loss for Sporting as we're in the 88th minute, trailing 4-0 against Toluca. 2 first-half goals, the first an own goal by Danny Rosero in the 29th minute, followed by a goal by Pedro Raul in the 32nd, and then 2 second-half goals to give themselves a comfortable lead. Willie Agata again. Agata finally gets his goal. This one may not mean much as far as the outcome of this game, but has to mean the world to Willie Agata. His first goal since returning from injury, and he's stuck with the play to pull one back for SKC.
I'm thrilled for Willie Agata to get on the end of this one. His first header's initially saved by Volpe, but immediately he's up, and what a ball for Roger Espinosa outside of his left foot, right to Willie Agata's head. And then Willie Agata is the first player to react to this one and just kind of powers that one through the defender into the far post. It's a good finish from Willie Agata, and even though Sporting are not going to get the win in this game, it is great to see that from Willie Agata. He's had a really good 20 minutes as he's come into this game.
Just the commitment and the fight, the joy to also see, it's maybe tailored back just a little bit given how Sporting have fared in this game so far, but for Willie Agata, that's got to feel good. It's got to feel good. Daniel Shallowy able to win it up high up the field for Sporting. He'll quickly take the throw in. Back to Eric Tommy. Shallowy back to Leibold. Inside to Espinoza, who's also had a good game since coming on, as he tries to find Daniel Shallowy and just cooks it a little too much as it rolls past the inline for a goal kick for Toluca. And Jacob, while Sporting KC's Leagues Cup run may be coming to an end, the regular season will resume in a couple of weeks. August 26th, Sporting's next game back at home against San Jose. How do Sporting approach these next few weeks before that regular season does resume? Because they've got some work to do when they get back. There can't be a lull or any sort of hangover coming off of a Leagues Cup break.
No, Sporting can't afford to slip up at all. Yeah. You've got to win 6-7 games probably in I believe it's 8 remaining, and you got to get as many points as you can. And the West is in a down year. The Eastern Conference, I think, Sporting might not have a chance to make the playoffs, but the West being the way that it is and it's just so jumbled in that middle of the pack, there's an opportunity there, but Sporting have to maximize results.
Raul hoping to maximize here. John Polskamp denying Raul yet again in this game. Raul may have a goal, but he certainly could have had a brace or even more in this one. But Polskamp has come up big on a number of occasions now. Sporting trying to quickly go the other way. Eric Tommy getting on the end of a ball from Marinos Janis in the box, who tries to touch it back for Agata, but that one cleared away by Toluca. We're in the 90th minute now, and here they come again, quickly out on the counter. They have shown they're good at scoring some of these garbage time goals, and a strike from distance stopped by a diving John Polskamp. And there is the final whistle, 4-1. The final score here from Children's Mercy Park in the round of 32 between Sporting Kansas City and Toluca in the League's Cup. This one was mostly Toluca for long stretches of the game. Sporting Kansas City with some bright moments, but unable to do enough to come out with the win. But Willie Agata making his return and getting on the score sheet for Sporting Kansas City. Certainly a bright spot in this one. But Sporting Kansas City's Leagues Cup run will come to an end. And now a couple of weeks off before SKC resume regular season play on August 26th. Jacob, what can the team take away from this experience, this tournament, and how can they use it to be at their very best when they resume regular season play?
This game, nothing. There are a few individuals who could take something out of this game. Willie Agata being the first one. I thought his return to action was excellent from the moment he came in, just adding that strength, that physical component, having really the two best chances of the game probably for Sporting in his limited 20 minutes of action. His strength, though, his willingness to press, it looked like there was passion, and he cared so much about it. And it's not to say that the other players don't care, because I know that that's not the case, but you got to go show it. And Willie Agata certainly did that. That was great to see. It was great to see Caden Pierre get back out there, coming off of his long injury. And yes, he's gotten some minutes down with Sporting Kansas City, too, who, by the way, are in excellent form and were MLS Next Pro's Team of the Month this past month. And Benny Fehlhaber with his second in a row Coach of the Year, doing a very good job down there with SKC2. And it's good to see Caden Pierre get those minutes, but even better to see him back here with the first team up, playing against a very good Toluca side and getting his feet wet again. John Pulskamp, I also thought, even though you give up 4 goals, I still think he had a good game. And it's kind of ironic, or certainly don't see it a lot, where Sporting gave up 7 goals in this Leagues Cup in 3 games. And I thought John Pulskamp was great in all 3 of those games. I think it just showed you, though, how many big chances that Sporting gave up, especially against Cincinnati and this Toluca team. But if you step back, Allie, and look at not just this game, but the whole tournament for Sporting, I think there are some positive things. To be honest, I didn't really predict that Sporting were going to get out of their group. With Chivas, who we talked about, was leading Liga MX standings, and there were the runners-up last year. FC Cincinnati, we've talked about how good they've been in MLS play, MLS record-setting pace at the top of the Supporters' Shield standings. So just to get out of that group, I think was an accomplishment. But then this result, it kind of nullifies that a little bit, because they were just absolutely played off the field by Toluca. Toluca are good, and it's going to be interesting to see them play against
Columbus or Minnesota.
Minnesota, who won in a shootout against Columbus after a 3-3 regular time score. Woo! That's going to be an interesting one. And Toluca, look, they've played 3 games. They scored 4 goals in all those games. They're going to be a dangerous team to watch, but it certainly takes a little bit of those positive vibes out of this Sporting team, who I thought had some good performances against Cincy and then against Chivas. But now it's back to the drawing board, and it's really figuring out, okay, you got 3 weeks.
Yep.
You know that you got to be firing on all cylinders. I think you can take the first week and work on a lot of tactical stuff and stuff that you don't usually get a chance to during the run of a normal season.
A many preseason opportunity.
Exactly. And you could work on some fitness component as well, but you've got to figure out what type of team you're going to be down the stretch. We saw them win against Chivas 1-0, which the first time all season long that Sporting have been able to win a 1-0 game like that, and you're going to have to be able to grind out results. Not every game's going to be a 2-0, 3-0 comfortable type of game, so you got to make sure that you're locked in for full 90 minutes, every roll of the ball. And tonight, and too often this season, Sporting have not been. So I think Peter Vermees and his staff We're really going to work on that. And it just comes down to the players making sure that they prepare themselves for a very important stretch for Sporting Kansas City to see if they can squeak into the playoffs.
Well, for Toluca, they have been excellent in this Leagues Cup competition. 12 goals through just 3 games, the most of any team in this Leagues Cup competition. Could very much go on to have a very successful run when they go to take on Minnesota. And really, it wasn't until they started to find their rhythm in this game tonight that they really came alive. Sporting Kansas City very much in the game at the start, but Toluca, once they found that momentum, they did not look back. And now for Sporting Kansas City, a few weeks before regular season play resumes, that'll be back here at Children's Mercy Park August 26th against the San Jose Earthquakes. And little room for error for Sporting Kansas City, but a chance now to work on some things and get some players back. Willie Agata being a big player returning for SKC as he got his first minutes back after undergoing a surgery tonight and got a goal to show for it. So a lot of work to do, but Sporting Kansas City still in the race for the playoffs. And now that is where the focus shifts after a 4-1 defeat here at home in the round of 32 of the Leagues Cup against Toluca. For Blake Arney, Jacob Peterson, I'm Allie Trost Martin. We will see you back here in a few weeks as Sporting Kansas City gets set to take on the San Jose Earthquakes and get back to MLS regular season play. But stay with us here on Sports Radio 810 because the Final Whistle post-match show is coming your way next here from Children's Mercy Park.
Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Pick your
At Dury Vision, we believe you should be able to live every day to its fullest. And that means not letting the hassles of contacts and glasses get in the way of truly seeing and experiencing everything your life has to offer. With LASIK at Dury Vision, you can trust your eyes to Kansas City's advanced vision correction specialists. Learn more at DuryVision.com or call 913-491-3330 to schedule your free consultation. Dury Vision. Seize the day.
Everyone said I'd have to put my life on hold to earn a teaching degree. Everyone except WGU. Their unique format allowed me to earn a degree at my pace while living my busy life. With no set login times or test dates, I was able to fit coursework into my schedule. I also used my existing knowledge to earn my degree faster. Learn more about WGU and apply today.
% off everything at Menards. Whether you need extra storage or want to add an accent to your living space, Menards has the Dakota Closet solution for you. Dakota shelving and closets come in a variety of finishes to match your style. Right now, save big money and get 11% off all Dakota Closet solutions at Menards. Good through August 6th. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Join the best in banking when you open your account with Central Bank. We're rooted in legendary customer service and have the tools to make banking easy. Our award-winning mobile app has more than 30,000 reviews and a 4.9 star rating. Experience it for yourself and see why our customers love it. We can't wait to show you how awesome it is to bank with us. Get started by visiting centralbank.net/betterbanking. Central Bank. Strong roots, endless possibilities. Member FDIC.
Sheet Metal Workers Local Number 2 in Kansas City, Missouri are proud of the men and women of the trade and labor organizations which built Children's Mercy Park from the ground up and protected the rights of working people throughout the country for over 130 years. Sheet Metal Workers Local Number 2 is always looking for hardworking, dedicated people who are seeking a career. This from Sheet Metal Workers Local Number 2 in Kansas City, Missouri, reminding us to always stand up and protect the future of all. For more information, go to www.sheetmetal2.org.
Whether you're looking for a little refresh or ready to overhaul every room, NFM makes shopping for your home easy. With new arrivals daily in furniture, flooring, appliances, and electronics, we're your go-to store for legendary low prices, long-term financing, and a better shopping experience. Take a stroll through our store or scroll through our website. Use our easy drive-through pickup or schedule professional delivery and installation. Big selection, big savings at NFM.
Is your new year still falling flat? Do you avoid stairs with multiple steps? You are not alone. This year, millions will be diagnosed with low energy or low E. But Planet Fitness has the cure. With clean, spacious clubs and tons of equipment, you can boost your energy after one workout. Leave low E behind and find your big fitness energy at Planet Fitness. Join in the free PF app for only $10 a month.
Your Kansas City Planet Fitness locations are a proud partner and the official gym of Sporting KC.
See Home Club for details.
Children's Mercy Kansas City believes that every child deserves more. More everyday solutions to keep kids safe and healthy. More life-changing research to fight rare diseases. More working together with parents, schools, and our community.
Because I'm going places.
We hope you'll join us at childrensmercy.org/imagine.
Keeping your kids safe is a full-time job. Whether it's putting on outlet covers, installing child gates, or gluing down your priceless vase. So Duracell made one part of childproofing simple. Our lithium coin batteries are the only ones coated in a non-toxic bitterant to help discourage swallowing. Your kid is safer, and you've got one less thing to worry about. Or glue down. Duracell. Engineered for more. Available in 2032, 2025, and 2016 sizes.
You're listening to the most powerful sports station in the country. Sports Radio 810, WHB Kansas City, the power
try
of
to get him in
sports.
some of these games at the end before we get back to the regular season. The good thing is he's healthy, he has no problems, so he's back, and I think for him, probably scoring the goal is a good confidence builder.
Peter, first, just your overall impressions of what happened out there.
I think we started fine, started well. We talked about it. They're good on the counter. They're, we have to be good with the ball. I think we were, but then we gave it up. I think there's 3 actions in a row where the game got opened up and they kind of went down on us. We thwarted the attacks, and then when the Tommy situation, when he was in the middle of the park and he got pushed from behind, or if he doesn't call it, they turn the ball over and then they kind of go down, and that's where that first goal starts. The second goal, I've watched it from a different angle. I look at it as I would say he's offsides. If they're calling Kyrie offsides, I'm thinking that their second goal was probably offsides as well. But then, I think that at the end of the day, they were better in the important moments of the game. That's the fair statement.
After the Chivas game, you talked about having worked on with the defense over the last couple of weeks about trying to correct some of the mental errors, and later in the game especially, it seemed like maybe there was a bit of a regression there. What do you think was the big
I don't know if it's a regression. I would say that there was some fatigue, mental errors, but is that saying that fatigue makes cowards of us all, and I think that we got a little bit we got tired, and we just didn't want to make the runs, and that can't happen. The ball that went over the top, and the guy went on the breakaway. We have to easily see that situation. Too easy, way too easy. But I will tell you this: we will for sure in the next couple of weeks talk and work on that stuff. It's not even work on it. It's we'll get that corrected for sure.
What do you focus on over the next couple of weeks with having some time off? I mean, besides things like that, is there?
Well, I got to get a bunch of guys like Willie. They need training because again, we didn't have Allen again in this game, so we're missing our 2 forwards. So getting those guys back in. The good thing is that I think guys like Gotti, guys like that are getting fit, and hopefully the weather's going to change as well, and that should serve us well.
It is a little hypothetical, but how much difference would having Allen in there have made tonight?
Well, as I said, I thought that Tommy did a really good job last game, but I think you're asking him to do Yeoman's job, and the fact that Gotti could, the last game I was thinking maybe 10 minutes for Gotti. Him doing 20 minutes was actually pretty good in this game, so it'll be nice to have both forwards available, especially as we go into the final push of the season.
4 goals on the score sheet, but John Polskamp did come up with a big saves quite a few times. So
yeah, John's not at fault on the goals by any means. John actually was very good, made some big saves, and especially early on. So yeah, he was good. It wasn't him. It was more defensively, if anything else.
Do we have any more questions in the room? Great. We're going to go to Zoom now, and we're going to start with Mr. John Lupo. John, your mic is open.
Thank you very much. Peter, just your overall impressions of the team's play in the competition. You did get to the knockout stages. What are some of the things that you like that you think you can take with you going forward for the rest of the season as you also get William up to speed and back into the flow of things as he gets back into action? And what are some of the things that you think you can work on that maybe you saw out there that you can improve as you have this, stretch run down the rest of the regular season?
In group play against Cincinnati and Chivas, I thought that in both games, we had a good command of both games, both possession, chances. Even when we were a man down at Cincinnati, to be able to go into their place and score 3 goals, we were in a good place for sure. And we played very well away from home, and we were getting back to ourselves. Obviously it helps that Allen's on the field in the first game. I would just say that even in this game, like as we started, we were in our groove a little bit, and there's a couple of things that happened that I think took us out of it, as I said earlier. But I would say coming out of this, there should be a couple good things, and that is some players that have been out for a while are back in. We have a couple weeks of training now that we can really overload the guys on the training aspect and get ready for our first game that we return back to the regular season. And that's going to be an important aspect is one, those guys are more fit. And then the other is we have, availability of majority of our players because we're going to need all of them at the final push.
We'll go to Guadalupe Granados, please. Guadalupe, you there? All right, we do not have Guadalupe, so thank you very much, Coach.
Okay,
all set.
Thank you. Nice game. Appreciate it, buddy. Good seeing you. Okay.
Peter Vermees as Sporting KC loses 4-1 tonight at home against Toluca in a game that really could have been a lot worse than this as we're getting started here with the Final Whistle postgame show. Dave Borchard, Chad Reynolds, Blake Arney, thanks so much for tuning in. Guys, give us your take on this one overall. It was, I think the better team won, but it was a disappointing performance considering how well Sporting played just a few days ago. And tonight, they didn't bring their A game on offense or on defense.
I thought it was a really even first, 30 minutes? It was good. It was good back and forth soccer. The own goal is always demoralizing, and to give one up right after that. And at that point, I don't know if heads started to fall or what, but at that point it became Toluca just pulling Sporting apart. And it was good soccer from Toluca, and hey, this is 3 straight matches they've scored 4 goals. They're on fire. They're absolutely flying right now in this tournament. But I think that this match had a chance to be much more even. Sporting had their chances. They didn't take them. Toluca got the own goal, and then they took the next chance and the next chance and the next chance, and that was it. And it ended up being dominant and disappointing. But it was. You could have also seen this flip the other way. It just did not go Sporting's way, and when it flipped hard, and Toluca was excellent.
Yeah, that's my biggest takeaway is Toluca didn't miss a beat, and of course. You can also make this exact same argument that Sporting defensively had a lot of lapses.
Right.
And, that's what led to multiple of the goals, especially, you concede that first goal with the own goal. You let your heads drop, and then all of a sudden it's 2-0. For me, I do kind of wonder how much this game does change if either Felipe Gutierrez puts that shot away that hits the bar, or Shelton wasn't offside on that follow-up where Fontas scores.
So it was Shelton that was offside?
It was, yes.
Okay, I thought they called Fontas, and I was like, that makes no sense because the ball moves it. Okay.
Exactly, yep. And do I think Sporting wins the game? I'm not sure about that. I would probably say, no, but the way that the game would have changed with Sporting going into the half having a goal, I feel like you said, it would have looked a lot more even.
2-1 at the half is a different game.
Yeah.
And also, I think that just from a practical perspective, we said it on the postgame show the other day. We knew there were going to be goals in this match, right? And they were there. Sporting hit the crossbar twice. Hey, Sporting didn't just hit the crossbar twice. Sporting tattooed the crossbar twice and had a goal called back. And I'm not saying that makes us a 4-4 match, but it does, right? And the truth is, Toluca took the better chances. They made them all count. And Sporting didn't, and that's why you sit here looking at a final 4-4. Sporting didn't put shots on goal that Toluca did.
I think the problem with the argument is, like, Pulskamp had 4 huge saves.
Right.
Yes.
And Toluca had 4 goals.
Yeah.
2 or 3 of which were tap-ins. So, I mean, those are like goals I would see at my 13-year-old soccer game.
Did Peter just say that he thought they were offside on the second goal?
He said if you called Kyrie offside on the goal we scored, then that he thought it was offside on them.
I'd have to go back and look at that.
The same sort of judgment.
Yeah.
But no, for me, that's the most frustrating thing. Obviously, the offense had a couple chances. Like you said, not enough. 2 shots on goal for the game. That's going to be tough. But really, to me, it's the defense. We talked about how impressive the defense was against Chivas, and it was one of the few times all year the defense didn't have that key error. They didn't give up a penalty kick. They didn't give up a breakaway opportunity. They didn't give up a bad foul on a set piece that led to a goal. The defense really was perfect in the last game. But tonight, it was the problems we've seen when Sporting has struggled this year. It was Rosero own goal is bad luck, but it's kind of the thing we've seen all year.
There's also probably defense on the back post. He probably doesn't need to make that play.
Well, right, and he didn't mark the runner on the second goal. And then there's breakaways where it's a guy running half the length of the field with no one between him and the goalie. It's those major defensive errors that kind of reared its ugly head tonight. For me, that was the most disappointing thing.
Well, and props to Toluca because their offense, again, clicking right now, and it showed tonight. And again, they just over and over pulled Sporting apart. It's, the simplest. Talk about, your 13-year-old son's soccer game, right? Short, long. Like, sometimes that's all it takes, and we saw a lot of that from Toluca tonight, and they just kept pulling Sporting out of shape, and when they did, they took advantage.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like defensively what just really stood out to me as the worst is that last goal where everyone just stopped playing for Sporting. Like you said, it's simply restarting and knowing that there's a free kick and saying, okay, guys, let's, play defense. I mean, it was as simple as that, and I mean, obviously the game was over at that point. It was out of hand, but for Sporting to just kind of fall apart like that and just give up, it was really disheartening. I mean, of course, they know they've got 3 weeks until the next, MLS game starts back up. But it was disheartening to see them kind of just fall apart and give up like that.
Well, and on that goal, I actually just pulled it up because I was like, I think he faked like he was going to go quick, and then he didn't. And everybody just kind of lulls into a sense of sleep. And then he goes. I mean, it's a
great run, by the way.
Killer run.
To recognize that and make that run is awesome, and he deserved to score there.
Yeah.
And also smart to go around Pulskamp because he probably would have made a save if he hit that first time or hit that when Pulskamp was first there. But yeah, just ugly.
I mean, Pulskamp is the man of the match for me, despite giving up 4 goals.
Yeah,
I mean, it could have been 6 or 7. I didn't see him do anything wrong on the goals that were scored.
Yeah, I don't think he's to blame. I'm trying to think back. Goal number 2 is I don't think he's.